So it's been a while since I've introduced myself. I'm Tim. I call myself an avid hobbyist woodworker for about the last 40 years. And our channel now is approaching 10,000 subscribers. And we're just short of 4 million total views, which is blowing my mind. I think it's amazing. Because all this started because I have a grandson who is one day I'm hoping to inherit and give him all these tools, but I got to give him the knowledge to go along with it. So that's why we started doing this on YouTube, to share that knowledge both with him and with the world at large. Always been into woodworking, even since I was way back in high school, before I even had a gray beard. And always enjoyed it, picked up a lot of stuff, learned an awful lot of stuff, and I enjoy sharing it. I've always been of the mindset that if you're going to learn something and learn it well, you should be teaching it to others. So I've enjoyed teaching woodwork for a long time. I enjoy making custom furniture, mostly furniture. Like I said, a lot of wall hanging type stuff, shelves. Literally just delivered a big shelving unit to a local tourism department here in town. Just delivered a bench to go in a dining room table set here in town. So I just having a lot of fun with woodworking and sharing it with everybody that's out there, and eternally grateful for the response that we've gotten here on our YouTube page. And never in a million years would have thought it would have taken off and done what it's done. And it's still growing and gaining momentum every single day. And it just amazes me how many people will watch the simplest of things in the world. We recently did a short video on how a leg vise works on a bench, which is just one of those things you almost have to have in a shop. And it's got something like 54,000 views on it and close to 60 subscribers from one sweet little video. So that's me. I enjoy it a whole lot. I love sharing it with you guys. I certainly appreciate all the support that you've shown to our channel. If there's something you'd like to learn, put it in a comment, let me know, and we'll do a video on it and share it if we know it. And if I don't know it, I know somebody who does. So share your thoughts and your comments with us. And thank you for being along for the ride.
Woodworking for a lot of people probably sounds like a hobby. As you said, you call yourself an avid hobbyist, but there's potential to have a full-time job in woodworking, right? Like for you, it actually is primary income. Yeah,
for me, it has become primary income. I spent a whole lot of years in the employee benefits realm of the insurance world, and always did the woodworking as kind of a plan B. And that has transitioned now to where woodworking is pretty much plan A. And there are a lot of professional woodworkers out there that do this for a living. There are a lot of folks that teach it for a living. And there are getting to be a lot of people that are YouTube content creators that make a living sharing woodworking. They don't necessarily make money and revenue from making things for people, custom pieces for people. What they make is education and content. And they produce information, gets information out there for people to learn and share. And the vast majority of it is pretty good. There have been a few situations that I've come across out there in the YouTube world where I thought the information was both dangerous and unacceptable and shouldn't be out there. But everybody has their right to put out there what they want. And if you're watching YouTube, be mindful of what you're watching. Make sure it's good stuff. And if you're questioning how something is done, find 3 or 4 content providers and ask all of them or find them and see how they do certain things. And then kind of amalgamate those together into how you want to do it. And it can be a great way to enjoy a great hobby. Perpetual, never-ending pursuit of problem solving is woodwork. You always have the opportunity to learn more and more. I think that's unstoppable, unending. I would liken it to the Pope. In fact, we just got a new one over there in Rome. You think he knows everything there is about the Bible? I'll bet you anything he studied it every single day and learns more every single day. I know I learn something new every time I walk in my shop, and I learn even more every time somebody else walks in my shop and asks me how to do something. So if you'll comment down below with what you'd like to learn, I'd love to teach it to you, because it's going to make you a better woodworker, and it's going to make me a better woodworker as well.
Over 40 years, you've made a lot of sawdust. Do you have any projects that stand out as ones that you really enjoy working on?
So I got a specific project that I really enjoyed over all these years. I did a little rocking hobby horse probably close to 20 years ago for the 2 little grandkids that my wife and I took the responsibility of raising all those years ago. And they've kept it all these years. And now we have a new set of grandchildren that are 5, 8, and 9 years old, and they're enjoying that same rocking hobby horse. So that one stands out quite a bit. I've got a pretty cool dining room table and dining room set upstairs in my kitchen that I made. That has been with us for a good while. Really enjoyed that. But you enjoy everything. And one of the things that was a challenge for me was making something and then having people want to buy it from me, because you put your heart and your soul into making things, and it's almost like having a child and having it go away. You don't want it to go away. So I had to adjust my mindset to where if someone who doesn't know me is willing to come in and trade their hard-earned money for the things that I conceive here, believe here, and achieve here, if they're willing to do that, that validates what I'm doing and says it could be good. It could be a good thing. So I look at it anymore as if I get to make something, I get to learn from that. Somebody else gets to enjoy it as much as I did in making it, and it frees up room in my shop to make something else. So it's all good from that perspective. A lot of favorite things. All of them stand out somewhere along the line.
You have a mentality now that you do also make stuff for other people and you give it away that you shared with me many years ago. And what was it? It had something to do with, becoming firewood. What is that?
Mistakes. Because some people are deathly afraid of making a mistake in the shop. Don't be. Mistakes are good if you're willing to learn from them, because you'll learn more from your mistakes than your successes every single time. And with woodworking, so what if you mess something up? You get to burn it in the fire pit and utilize it there. So mistakes are great. I have learned some of my best skills from making mistakes on stuff and then having to go back and solve the problem of how do I fix the problem that I made. I got to do a cremation urn a while back, and we're talking very much last minute. A call at 8 o'clock in the morning for a funeral that was 1:30 in the afternoon. Had to rush home and make it and get it to the funeral before the service. And when I was pushing it through my table saw, it twisted and messed it up. I didn't have time to replace it and do it over. So I had to figure out how to take that nice slice out of the corner of that box. I just turned the table saw blade at an angle, run the whole thing through there, run that angle on it enough to get rid of that mistake, and it made it into a beautiful box. One of the nicer cremation urns I've ever made. Turned out nice because I had made a mistake in what I was doing on the table saw and had to solve the problem because I didn't have time to make another one. Literally, I started in the shop at 10 o'clock and I delivered that cremation urn at 20 minutes to 12. So there, I told them, I said, whatever you do, don't drop this box, because if you drop it, it's liable to come apart and the dude inside will fall out. But, make mistakes. Be willing to make them. Be willing to learn from them. They're an invaluable education source. Don't make mistakes such that you end up hurting yourself. Be cautious that way, but that all gets down to learning how to do things right and the right, safe way. So things can be done there as well. So,
in 40 years, what are 3 things that stick out to you that you learned from making sawdust?
40 years of sawdust, what have I learned that sticks out? Probably the biggest thing is you can achieve anything you put your mind to. The good Lord gave you a mind. He didn't mean for you to waste it. So get out there and use it. And anything that anybody else can do, you can do. So don't let anybody tell you can't do something. Can't is a cuss word in my shop. It's a contraction in terms of the English language. It's 2 words put together. In my mindset is can't is I can, but I choose not to. So I don't use can't in my shop. If you come to my shop, word the can't is a cuss word. Don't use it, because anything you put your mind to, you can do. And if you don't believe you can, chances are somebody can teach you that you can. The possibilities are absolutely endless. You can do anything you put your mind to. Other big thing that I learned, boy, that one covers so much of it. It's okay to be creative. create things. Let your mind expand and let it go to different places and think of different stuff. And let your vision take over and just, again, create stuff. If it's something you hadn't seen before and you think it might look neat, try it. If it doesn't work, so what? You learn from it. So you can do anything you put your mind to. You can be creative. Boy, those are the two big things. Money's kind of good. You can learn how to make money doing this, really. Keeping track of your expenses, what your wood costs, what your tools cost, and all that. That's great. Your accountant will love you for that. But you can really make some decent money doing this, particularly if you get to the point where you're producing good product, good output, and people start to recognize that. And you take people that will come to you as a customer. One, you treat them well. You make what they want. You make it to the best of your God-given abilities. And you treat them well, and those people will become clients. I don't need customers. Don't need to waste my time with customers. I got plenty of those, but the clients are the ones that I really like, because clients come to me, they ask me to make something, they give me an idea what they want. They don't even ask what the price is. They just say, call us when it's done. And those people come back on a regular basis. They're always referring other people to me that want to come over as a customer and become a client. So don't be afraid to charge what you do. Make the money at it and be worth it. Don't undersell yourself, because there is a perception of value that goes along with price. And the way I like to talk to our guys in the Woodworking Guild about it is, if you put one price on something and you take it to a craft show, that's one thing. What do you got to do to make that piece change its perception into being an artisan piece? Add a 0 to the end of it. And if you want to make it a fine art piece, add another 0 onto that. It can be exactly the same piece, and just pricing it different will give people a different perception of value. So don't cut yourself short. And if somebody wants to ask me, would I take less money for something? No, is the answer. It's a real simple, concise answer. No, that sums it up. If I want to be smart about it, I might ask them what part of the piece that they don't like or doesn't think is my quality and not worth their money. I don't want those people. They're not going to be clients anyway. They're only going to be a customer one time if I sell it to them. So don't sell yourself short. Sell yourself high. I've had situations where I've been in a gallery and something didn't sell. I took it to a different gallery, doubled the price, and it sold right away. The perception of value is everything. So yeah, it's okay to make money doing this. It's a worthy endeavor. So go ahead and charge what you're worth. Whether you figure it out by what your time is or what your experience is, or value your intuition. In terms of your intuition is going to tell you that this piece of wood wants to be this product, or it wants to be made this way. If you listen to your wood and look at it long enough, it'll tell you what it pretty much wants to be. Excuse me. Value that intuition, because that intuition will paint that picture in your mind's eye, and it will let you know what it's going to be before it's even done. To that end, I almost never use plans. I don't make things from other people's plans. I always reserve the artistic liberties when I'm making a project to make it the way I want to make it. So I don't use plans. I just go out there and create and make stuff and do it the way I want it done. And that intuition that helps me get from that raw piece of lumber to a finished project, where in my mind's eye, I can see it no different than if I had taken a photograph of it and printed it out and set it on my table. I can see it. And that intuition is worth money. That's worth a lot of money, because that's what helps you drive your creativity and the quality of your piece. And that's what helps you make some really, really cool stuff that people really enjoy.
So you have a secret sauce that has to do with the sequence of numbers.
Oh, the sequence of numbers. Yeah, for our aesthetic perspective, getting stuff to a balance in proportion that occurs in nature. And most people just call it the Fibonacci sequence. And there's a mathematical calculation for it, but the number is one number plus the number before it equals a third number. So it's 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 24. No, back up at it. 13, 21, 34. So if I'm going to make a cremation urn, for example, as a box, I'm going to follow that sequence. I might make that box 8 inches long, 5 inches wide, 3 inches deep. So there's going to be an aesthetic balance that your eye naturally sees there, and it occurs in nature all the time. So I use the Fibonacci sequence on just about everything that I make, just because I like the way it causes the end product to look balanced, and it's a natural occurring balance. It's pretty cool. The Fibonacci sequence, I like it.
You have been incredible at seeing a project out the way that you know it's supposed to be. Someone might bring you a measurement of 36, and obviously if it needs to fit in a space that's only 36, you'll do that.
Yeah.
But for you, the balance, your vision, and the end product, they work out almost higher priority sometimes, even when people are asking for it, because you also know they're asking you to do it the right way, and the way that they've seen you do it.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about, you already talked about trusting intuition, but can you talk about trusting you as a craftsman and knowing that you know best for your clients?
Yeah, and clients is the key to that, because clients are the people that know me, that they've seen enough of my work, and they trust me enough to know that if I say it needs to be XYZ size, which is a little bit different from theirs, they're going to trust me and let me go with that. And that comes from just developing that intuition, having that experience, producing good product, and those clients knowing that they can rely on my professional abilities, and they like to do that. And I just like to, man, that's a good question. My people that I call good clients just come to me because they know they're going to get what they want. They know what's going to get done right. And it might not be right now, but it's going to be right. So it's kind of a choice sometimes of, do you want it right or do you want it right now? And if it gets to be, I want it right now, and right's a lesser issue, find somebody else to make it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to compromise my level of quality and creativity for anybody's timeline. That's why if you ask me for a deadline on something, waste of breath. I'll try to get the stuff as quick as I can and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not going to compromise the end product by having a time limitation on it.
You've learned that over time, though.
Just learned that over time. That comes from doing it. Like I said, I've been an avid hobbyist for probably 40 years. And, as you can see, I like tools. I like using them, and they're part of what I do. And yeah, people that come to me as clients, and I'm honored by it, they rely on me to do what they want done, to get their product done the way it should be done. They rely on my experience, my intuition, and my professionalism when I'm doing a project for them. And they don't mind paying for it. That's one thing. People that want stuff done right and done nice don't mind paying for it either.
So how would you encourage people in the beginning of their journey, which a lot of people who watch you are new to the craft? Yeah,
a lot of people that watch our new woodworkers, be open-minded and take every opportunity there is to learn. Don't pigeonhole yourself into a specific niche where you only use hand tools, or you only use power tools, or you only make cutting boards, or you only make birdhouses. Expand your horizons and be willing to always learn, knowing that woodworking is a perpetual pursuit. There's no way for anybody ever to know all of it. There's always opportunities to learn. I make it a point to have, at least on a quarterly basis, every 3 months, to learn a significant skill set. Whether that's how to sharpen a hand plane, whether that's how to do a template on a router table, whatever, pick up a significant skill set every quarter of the year, and always be growing and expanding what your knowledge base is, and find somebody who has knowledge that you want to have and ask them to teach you and share it with you. One, it's people that teach it and people that are good at teaching it get the biggest kick out of sharing it with other people and teaching them. And I do that from the perspective of the one who gets the most out of that learning opportunity is me, the instructor, because it forces me to take it out of storage, formulate it, and communicate it in such a fashion that that person who doesn't know how to do that can learn how to do that. They can learn from my experience in a pretty short amount of time and have good quality skill sets. You always got to be cognizant of what you're communicating and how you're communicating it. And it has to be in the context that that person is in so they can understand it and learn from it and be educated by it. Every time I do a fundamentals of woodworking class, it's better than the last one that I did. It gets better every single time just because I'm careful, I'm mindful of what I'm teaching, how I'm teaching it. I want people to take those skills away. It does me no good to go to my grave with the skills that I have and not have shared them. Which gets down to this whole thing about this YouTube channel and what we're doing is, yeah, I know how to use all this stuff, but it doesn't do any good for me to have it if I don't share it. And my primary object of sharing right now is my grandson, Benjamin, who just turned 8 years old, and he has interest. And as long as he has it, I'm going to teach it. It does me a lot of good. It does him a lot of good. And the knowledge that I've acquired from a myriad of different sources is not going to be wasted by going to the graveyard. It's going to stay up. It's going to stay topside. In closing, thank you for letting me introduce myself again. Thank you for watching what we're doing here with the YouTube channel. Again, it just blows my mind that nearly 4 million people have watched our videos. And our numbers of subscribers are on a steep curve going up. I greatly appreciate it. Obviously subscribe, comment, and all that. Ask us questions. And the biggest thing I can say is just thank you. Thank you for watching because it's encouraging. It validates what we're doing here. And it makes it a joy and an honor just to do it. So thank you.